All right, hello everybody. My name is Cameron. Today we're going to be talking about how to avoid misinformation. Now, everybody gets fooled by information at some point, but knowing what I'm about to show you will give you a huge advantage over it. So what can we do to ensure we're getting the best information possible and not falling for misinformation? First, know where you're getting your information. Don't just get one side of the story. Recognize motivation. Don't fall for sensationalism, and stay alert. Stay vigilant. So, know where you're getting your information. Now, what does this mean? How do we stay ahead of the information age? As accessibility to information increases, so does the difficulty of discerning good information from bad information. Most of the information we receive on a daily basis comes from the internet, so it is critically important to at least be familiar with how it works, especially regarding information. Anyone can write anything. There's little regulation when it comes to the information on the internet, and what fact-checking is done is likely by whoever owns the site. There's a strong self-affirming bias, even with generally reputable sources. If you see something that seems crazy or too good to be true, look to see if you can find that same information from another source. Now, there are people out there who are going to try and mislead you. Now, remember to be always on your guard when getting information from the internet. There are people that actually make their living by fooling you. We'll get into that here a little bit. So recognizing motivation. Whoever has written what you're reading has had a reason to write it, and it's important to know what that reason is. In almost all cases, the motivation is simple: money. In one way or another, the author of what you're looking at, or the company that that creator works for, is making money because you're looking at it. It's a good idea to keep in the back of your head how it is that they are doing this. Most of the time, it's from advertising revenue. Small websites and major broadcasting corporations both make money this way. They are paid by the companies who produce a product because they know that there's an audience of people who will see those ads. It is because of this that promoters need to build and maintain a clientele that will continue to come back, so the companies will continue to pay them for their advertising time. For larger U.S. news corporations like Fox and CNN, their clientele consists of groups of people with specific political beliefs. Regardless of your own political leanings, it's important to know that the information being presented is being presented in a way that will not offend their current clientele, and this comes at the expense of some objective truth. Remember, there are people who benefit from duping you. Again, in some cases, the clientele base is acquired by making sensational headlines just to draw an audience. Clickbait titles that include, quote, "You won't believe what happens next," or "X will blow your mind," rarely contain useful or reliable information. Their goal is merely to draw in as many people as they can without going through the effort of making any quality content. Look around the information. What this means, as an example, if you come across an article touting evidence of the benefits of some obscure ingredient that is blowing doctors' minds, check to see if that's what they're selling. If so, there are good grounds to doubt the objectivity of that information. Don't fall for sensationalism. So, anger is actually the most viral emotion. It's been shown that people are generally more likely to react to or share information that makes them angry, more so than any other emotion, which incidentally makes it much more difficult for you to keep your head. Being angry, shocked, or outraged focuses you on the outrage rather than the validity of the information itself. Scammers use the same principle of fear to manipulate you into falling into their scam. If you receive a notification that your personal information has been compromised, some people become so flustered that they miss spelling errors in the notification, or that it's coming from a disreputable source. They take the quick solution offered by the scammers rather than going through the appropriate channels. Now, the people who put out information, and misinformation especially, know this, and they are using it to manipulate you. They know that using an outrageous headline or deliberately inflammatory subjects will draw a crowd and let them get the better of you. Now, getting both sides of the story. No matter how objective information may seem, it is presented through that creator, through that author. What I'm saying here is that no one is immune to bias. Looking for the same information from a different source will allow you to form a clearer opinion. If someone or something is being written about, look for what that person is saying about it. Go to the source. Too often, people are content with reading about someone without looking to see what that person has to say for themselves. If an article you are reading references a scientific journal, see if you can pull up that journal. Most are too involved to read through, but they will have an abstract, a summary, in more plain English, describing the content of the journal. By doing this, you can confirm or deny if the information you're getting from the first article is staying true to its source. Of course, when you're reading through these additional sources, keep point one in mind. Typically, the closer you get to a primary source of information, the more objective it will be, but that doesn't mean that you should trust it blindly. And stay alert, stay vigilant. Reread an article to check for things you may have missed the first time. This will give you some time to ruminate on what you're learning, to prevent knee-jerk reactions, and give yourself more time to look for inconsistencies. Look for what kind of information is being presented. Is it consistent with its material? Don't get medical advice from Facebook, for example. Get it from a doctor, an expert in their field. And it's important to know then what constitutes an expert in any given field. If we're sticking with medicine, then Dr. Oz, for example, is a TV personality, and his advice should not be trusted over your own doctor's advice. And then finally, probably the most important point. Do you have any experience in what you're reading about? Ask yourself, how easy would it be to fool me about what I'm reading? The less you know about a subject, the more careful you should be when learning about it. Now, in summary, the points we had were: don't just get one side of the story, know where you're getting your information, stay alert, stay vigilant, information is coming at you all the time. Don't fall for sensationalism, and recognize motivations. Thanks for watching.